All right, so looking here at the Nasdaq Futures, we got a break of structure above this major high here. I stated that in the video that I posted to all those that are elite channel supporter members at the end of that video today, which is that private video covering yesterday's trade breakdown surrounding the short that I took in this area here, and the one that I posted over in the Discord. So I was talking about it at the latter portion of that video about the market, breaking structure, taking out these minor areas of structure, and then breaking this major area or high here. And right now we're kind of moving sideways, as you can see here. Again, on the Nasdaq Futures, looking at some of the lower charts or time frame charts like the 60 range chart. This was a setup for a demand zone right here. I didn't see it. It's probably too close to the opening too. Yeah, it was. So right now we're just moving sideways across all charts. If you look at the overall direction, we are bullish on the Nasdaq and on the higher time frames, but on the lower time frame, the lower base chart like the 24 range, we're making lower lows, lower highs. So we're looking bearish again, like I always state. Trading in the direction of the higher base chart. So if you're scalping off your 24 range or your lower base chart, whatever that is, trade in the direction of overall what's taking place here, which is in a bullish direction. So until the market shows us that it's maybe trying to shift and push a different direction. Right now it's actually making a low here, lower high, and then maybe it'll break this area structure, or it may just push back up to the upside. So just going to wait it out to see which direction is going to move. Today's Friday. I mean, they could basically be setting up to get into a range to where it may range all day. Sometimes it does that on Fridays, and it just kind of carries through to the rest of the day. So some days there are good opportunities on Fridays at the end of the week, and then some days there aren't. So we'll see what happens right here. This is a break of structure, but they didn't break and close above this high here with the candle. So, this is a weak structural break above this major high. It's not a full close above. So I'm waiting to see which direction they're really going to end up moving in. All right, we got a lot of volatility stepping into the market. I don't know where this push like this came from. We do have low impact news, factory orders on the books at 10 o'clock, but this volatility is just unexpected right now because there's nothing showing where the market should be as volatile it is right now, or which would cause it, unless it's something else in the media or whatever. But looking at the calendar, economic calendar, we had non-farm payrolls. That's always the first Friday of the month. Today at 8:30. So I'm not sure what's causing this big push, but right now I'm going to hold off until the market slows its pace as I speak right now. All right, so let's look at the 24 range. Let's see. Maybe if the market comes back down to this area here at 20,038. But let's see what it does, because the pace of the market is a little faster than I want to see at this point. So let's see what it does here. It may want to come up. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. It's going to push lower, or what it's going to do here. All right, I'm taking a quick scalp. Just a very quick scalp back to the upside here. Only got filled with one contract so far. All right, 2 contracts in. Just taking it back up here. Hopefully I can get filled here. Oh, come on. I may not get, let's see. Okay. All right. I meant to put my stop right here and didn't put it quick enough because I was looking to see what the market was going to do, and it was hovering over the close button. But that was a quick scalp back to the upside right here to 20,083. Look back here at the higher base chart. We're still bullish to the ups. To me, overall direction, we're still bullish, moving higher. So if I look at the 24 range, you can see where it's making basically a channel to the downside, looking as if we're bearish. But again, I'm following the overall structure of the higher base charts. So now we are breaking more structure to the upside. as you can see. So I'm looking for bullish movement or bullish price action to look for opportunities to trade on pullbacks, the key areas of demand. All right, so let's see. All right, let's see here. I'm not sure what the market's trying to do here. Let's see. You can see, I mean, we got to break a structure here to downside, but it's not. I want to see more confirmation if we're going to try to make a reversal from bullish back to bearish. So we'll see. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to go long here, taking it back up to the upside. I need to be careful here. Put a stop in place right quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, this market is very volatile. Very volatile. Came down to stop me out, guys, right there. All right, I'm going long again. Fill me with one contract. Come back. It's okay. Going back to the upside. See how I had my stop way too close. And I don't want to see it come past basically this area right here. I need to, let me put a stop in here. Right below this area here. So what are we looking at here? 20. I need to give myself about another point or two breathing room here. It's moving sideways. I don't want to see this range and stuff like this right here. Come on, go up. Yep, this is what I was looking for right here. Go ahead. Come back up here. Okay, there we go. All right. That's what I was aiming for, guys. I had my stop way too close there, and I got stopped out in that first one. Entered again. All right, so really that's like 3 little trades there. I got stopped out in that one there, and second one was a good trade. So I knew that, and looking at price action right here in the 24 range, and we're already bullish on the higher base chart. This was a a demand zone resting right here. I entered a little late. It came back. I had my stop way too close, and it stopped me out. All right. So again, that's what I'm saying. I keep saying this imperatively that it's important to give yourself some breathing room when you're placing your stops. So I took a quick scalp earlier, just for a few points right here. I tried to go long right here again, and the moment I put my stop in again, it came back. I didn't even, my stop should have been resting right here, and it stopped me out before I could even move my stop. So I should have brought my stop. My mistake on my part there. So you got, for all those out there that always cry about, well, you don't show, any losing trades. Well, there you go. That was a losing trade that I just took right there. Only because the fact is that I placed my stop way too close, trying to enter it, the stop or position it in. And I should have came down here and set it right here. Again, the stop needs to go on the back end here, 20,061, and give yourself 3 or 4 points. So around about, what I say, 61, maybe around 57, 58, I would have been good. You see, it never came down there. I put it way too close right here, and it hit me, and it went up. And that's why I re-entered, because I knew they were going to probably try to test this area here and test higher, because we're bullish on the higher base charts. So technically speaking, yes, that would have been my second trade, but I'm really not considering it a trade, because that was a fault of mine, a mistake that I shouldn't have done by putting my stop way too close. And I never do that. I give myself more breathing room. But anyways, my second one really was the re-entry on that one there. So that was the second trade there. So I normally don't do this. I may take another little scalp here, because I've only got into 2 small little scalps. Just off the 24 range. I'm looking for a bigger move, to be honest with you. So I typically don't do this. We'll see what happens. And if the market doesn't really come up and break any more structure and it starts to move sideways, then I'll just be done. All right, so on the 60 range here, we got a demand zone resting right here. I'm not sure if it's going to come back to it. We're breaking structure higher, major high resting right here. Also on the higher base chart, the 120. So I don't know if it's going to come back and test this. This is around 20,079 or 80 area. All right, so yeah, when the market's volatile like that and it's really kind of racing around, be very careful. I saw it chopping right here, and this is where a lot of people's nerves can really step into place here when they start seeing this right here, because they may want to try to dip lower and then push up. So just be careful when you start to see price action like this where it's kind of zipping sideways. Yeah, I mentioned, well, no, let's go out to the 60 range. 60 range right here, 20,078. I'm looking here on the, okay, so we're a little higher up now after breaking structure to the upside here on the 24 range. We were bearish, back to bullish. Overall, we're still bullish on the higher base charts. So yeah, they can come down here and test this area here at 20,114, but you gotta be careful because you have areas where there's gaps below where they may want to test and fill those areas in. So I'm paying attention closely to the 24 range chart, but would preferably like to see them. Well, actually, let's see. Yeah, I like to see them break above this area here and then maybe pull back. But again, right here on that 20,079 or 80 area on the 60 range. Okay. Let's see what they do here. You can see them rejecting off of this area here. They may break this high here. Looks like they want to. This is a pullback to a small area of demand off of the 24 range, but I don't know about that, because there's gaps right below, lots of gaps right below, coming all the way back down here. So I think I'm going to hold off for right now until maybe they pull back to a area of demand on a higher base chart, maybe the 60 range, or right now they're moving sideways on the 120. So just going to hold off. All right, as you can see, this is kind of price action I don't like right here, where it's kind of just zipping around. It's building volume right here at the highs. And again, like I said, they could come back lower. They may want to break this. They keep, testing that area, so they may want to try to break higher and continue the bullish move to the upside. So this is a major high, which they could take out, or they could come a little lower, fill some imbalances in, and then take off to the upside. So just have to, okay, there they go. They're breaking now to the upside. So now we got a structure break above this, which was the high for today previously at 20,142. And now they are, yeah, they come back right here. That makes sense. That's a demand zone right here at the breaking structure. So just be careful, because I mean they could start pulling back or turn around at any time. And we've been bullish since the opening of the Asian session overnight. So we were bullish yesterday, bearish short term, back to bullish, breaking this high here, making a new high, pulling back, breaking, and taking out this high here. So now we're back bullish. So we've been bullish for some time, and they could want to come back down at some point and start filling some of these areas to the downside. All right, so yeah, we're breaking structure to the upside here, as you see. This could be a bullish day where it just trends in one direction all day long, really not giving us much pullback. That's why I kind of keep floating between the various charts here, the 120 range on the Nasdaq, the 60, and the 24 range. Yeah, that's a breaking structure here on the 60 right here. There's a demand zone resting right here, but we're getting kind of high, I'll say, up to the upside, and they may want to again come down and fill some areas, pushing back lower. So just be careful, at areas like I had this demand zone marked right here. They didn't come back to it. They broke higher, created another demand zone right here, and they can come back to this one right here. So just have to pay attention as to what's taking place. I'm trying to see here. There's a demand zone. Let's see. Right here on the 120 range chart. But overall, let's wait and see what takes place. Let's see. Okay, this is I said this is about this area here. This is a 60 range demand zone right here that is tapping into, I believe anyway. Yeah, right here. But again, they can start feeling areas coming to the downside and feel some of these imbalances. So be careful here. And they're kind of pushing deep into this zone. I don't like. Okay, so they just wick right below that zone there. Now they're taking it out, trying to. This could be a liquidity grab right here. So, all right, I'm going long. Right back up to this area. Come on now. Right back to this area here. Hopefully, let's see here. They just swipe the area of liquidity, but right below these lows right here. So that's why I'm just taking it back up to. Come on. Let's see. I don't want to see them break below this area right here at 20,112, and they definitely can. Let me look at the lower base chart and see if we're breaking some structure to the upside. Okay, now we got a little fall through here. Okay, so right here, I don't want to see them take below this area here. I'm putting my stop right there. Okay, let me go back down to the 60 range. Okay, I really need to give myself maybe 2 or 3 points breathing room there. It's a bigger stop because I'm trading, taking it off the 60, but I'm looking at the 24 range to pay attention to price action. I'm hoping they come up and test this area right here, and they may not. This is a trade. They're grabbing liquidity below these equal lows right here. So I may have to scalp this real quick. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Don't do that. I'm gonna leave it right there where I had it at, my profit target. Come on. This is a liquidity grab trade or liquidity sweep trade, so I normally don't trade these. I stick to what I normally trade, supply and demand. Every blue moon, I may take one of these type of trades, and so far I don't like what it's doing here. Price action is kind of just moving sideways, and this is what I don't want to see it do. I'm gonna take this trade out. I don't like price action. I'm taking it out here. Come on. Pull back. Stop me. I mean, not stop me out, but look at it. It wants to go lower. Come on. I'm gonna take out a break even. I don't want to see it go below 20,012 or 112, I should say. Okay, I'm out that trade unscathed. All right, let's see what happens here. Like I said, typically I don't take these type of trades. It broke below these equal lows right here, and it's moving sideways. I don't like see it here on the 24 range. This is what I don't like. They could react and off that sweep there and push to the upside because we are bullish. So I'm going long. Man, okay, so this they're playing around today. I don't like it. All right, I'm taking it up here to where I said I was going to take the trade at. There we go. I only got it in one contract though. Okay. That's okay. That, you see, they never came down here and stopped me below my 112. They even scared me. So that's why I went ahead and took out at break even. But this is a liquidity sweep trade, and they went back and tested these areas a little higher. I knew if they took this area here out and reacted off of it, that they would sweep in that area, these equal lows. They're probably trying to possibly maybe want to try to push higher. We'll see. All right, so I was right on the trade. That was actually 2 contracts. I went back and looked at it. I thought it only had filled me on one. Again, I didn't even have time to put my stop in. I would have put the stop in, same area. But looking at this trade setup, came down, swept below these lows here. I think maybe we're going to try to push higher because we just swept those lows. Anytime they make a move like that, sweeping an area of liquidity, coming down, and they're bullish in the direction, they're probably going to go back up. At least that's the highs. All right, there is an area looking back at like March, sometime in March 20 something, I believe. That there's an area of pretty much resistance in a case. That's why the market is not really struggling to push higher right now. But when I got into the trade here, my stop was going to be down here, and you see they came that close. That's why I always say when you get into a trade, if you pitch your stop close, tick to tick, they are going to try to shake you out of the trade. I didn't like it because I started looking at the 24 range, and they started like just shifting sideways right here. Not really, yeah, they started forming some highs, higher lows, these little quick little pullbacks and pushes. Then they dipped down real quick, and then they pushed up. So this is their way of when they pull back hard right here to shake people up right here. And but when I saw they started pushing and closing back to the upside again, bullish here on this candle here on the 60 range, I looked back over at my 24 range and saw that they were pushing back, and I saw these gaps right here back to the upside that they probably want to fill, basically back up to if you look at here, it's showing around the 155 area. So that's an area of supply coming down. But yeah, so either way, it was still a good trade. I entered in with 2 contracts, but was only able to scalp but for a few points there. And now they're breaking structure higher. So I should have held the trade. I should have just stayed in it, but I didn't like what was taking place when I shifted down to my lower base and saw this type of stuff going on. That just kind of, it's better for me to go ahead and get out the trade and versus getting stopped out. And they almost did down here, so it's fine. But this was, I took this trade and looking at, what took place here on the 60, them grabbing this area of liquidity. So it's not my typical supply and demand type setup. This was a demand setup right here, but they broke through it right here. And then I saw these equal lows right here, and I said, okay, they grabbed that, reject off of it. They're probably going to try to push higher, and they did. They just shook me up a little bit. So I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm not too keen on the price action activity so far. I mean, we are bullish, so pullbacks to demand, of course, is what you want to be looking at. 24 range, this is a quick demand zone right here that you could trade off of. Let's see, maybe back up to this area here around 73. Maybe, that's just for a few points, though, on the 24 range, because when you start taking trades off of like a 24 range or anything lower, you're going to be just getting in for quick scalps. That's why I like pullbacks to higher base charts and then taking my entries off of the 24 range, because I know I can look for something bigger to take place. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Let's see what they do here. They may dip lower, but this is it is a breaking structure on the 24 range. On the 60 range, yep. Now there's a demand zone here on the 60 range right here. You can see it right here at 136, 137, 138. Let's say 138. Actually, probably a little higher than that. 138.5, 139. Right here. That's a demand zone right there. They can react off this, but I'm just like very skeptical now because they're kind of high now in a bullish direction, and there's so many gaps or imbalances resting below. Can they react off this zone here? Yeah, they didn't really 100% tap into it. They're like a few ticks away, but yeah. I'll stay on and kind of record a little bit more to see what takes place. Price action wise, I mean, right here there's a demand zone. Let's see. There's there's just imbalances, these gaps, and then we feel coming to the downside. So they may want to start flipping it now and testing lower areas. So let's see what they do here. They tap the zone now. I'm gonna look at my 24 range. All right, this is a valid demand zone right here. I'm not going to trade it though because I'm at my limit for trading today. But again, Look what it's doing. It's reacting off of it. You got higher time frame demand zone, lower time frame demand zone right here. They reacted off of it. Take the trade basically back to where it's at kind of right now, around 156, 157. They could push a little higher and fill this gap back to the upside at 165. Let's see if they do that. And looking at the market, I would say they're right here around 162 is where they're going to react at, because this is where they broke a little bit of structure right here coming to the downside. So yeah, this was a nice trade right here. Just a little high up on the chart, but this was a valid 24 range demand zone with confluence off of the 60 range. So I'm going to mark it up. Didn't take it though, because I'm not greedy when it comes to these markets. I'm going to take what I can get and get out. All right. And plus, I'm over with my limitation as far as trades today. I normally want to take 2 limit, but again, I got stopped out on not the first one, but the second one very quickly because my stop loss placement. It re-entered, took profit, and then I was able. And then the last trade I took, which was basically like a third trade, it really just shook me up right there. So days like that when the market is, I can see what's going on and my trades are correct. Every one of my trades have been correct as far as direction. It's just the price action, what it's doing right now. So, but yeah, this was let me mark this up. High probability demand zone off the 24 right here. Okay. I mean, off the 60 range, but yeah, 24 as well. So you can see it. Let me mark it up here so we can see it on the 24. Multi-chart confluence right here. I mean, it's, you've got, well, they tapped into the 60 range. There was a demand zone here on the 24 range. They react off of it. Where can they test back up to, in this area up here? I want to look over to the 120 to see, looking back, how far back are they testing as far as areas to the left-hand side of the chart, where they're at as far as price. Okay, this is March to 20. Oh no, sorry. March to 27th. Yeah, March 27th. So you can see that this area here, there's an area of resistance from way out there on March 27th. And they may want to take this out and fill these gaps right here going to the upside, all the way back up here to 20,252. But there's an area of resistance resting right here. So 154. Yeah, there's an area of resistance resting right here. So they may, may want to react, reject, and push lower, fill some areas in. But they may also want to break higher and fill these gaps right here back to the upside. So what is this, 199, 200 area? So yeah, let's just wait and see what they do. Yeah, I'll be very careful at this point. This is a valid, like I said, demand zone, but we've got an area of resistance way out to the left from March 27th. Okay, so just be careful. All right, so they're moving sideways now. You see it. I mean, they were moving sideways here, pullback, moving sideways here. This is the area I got to that last trade at. Now they're reacting off way out from March, 20-something, 27. This was a pullback to an area of demand, but you got to be mindful of what's resting right above you. We got these highs resting right here on the day, but also, resistance from way out on a March area, which they haven't taken out yet. And now they are moving sideways again. So, just be careful today is what I can say, because they've already 1, 2, 3, 4th time kind of moving sideways here. And they could be wanting to test lower areas and fill some of these areas of imbalances back down to the downside now. You can see it even on the 120 right here, right here, right here. So let's see. All right, so this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, you see it ranging right now today so far, even on the 120, the 60. You definitely probably see it on the 24 range. So we're just moving lower. This is a high sitting up here. So waiting to see if it's going to take out, the high above these areas here right now. It had a pullback, but we're just kind of moving sideways. So we'll see what happens. It could continue doing this for the rest of the day. So I'm glad I got my little quick scalps in and was able to go ahead and just, basic end it for today for me. So I'm just going to kind of sit back and look at the market throughout the day every so often to kind of see what it ends up doing. As I said earlier, they may want to come down and start filling some areas in. I mean, there's a couple gaps back down to the downside, but looking back, further out from around March 20 something, they aren't wanting to push quite higher at this moment. So they may want to push a little higher. They could come up with 200 here, 20,200, and react off that round number as well. That's a level, and then start to push lower. But I'm going to wrap it up. That's going to be it for me today. A couple trades, quick scalps in and out. And it's Friday, going into the weekend. I'm not going to push the envelope, take my profits, be done. If you're trading, I would highly recommend doing the same, especially on Fridays. Take what you can get and be done. But outside of that, that's all I have, guys. I appreciate it. If anyone wants to join and become an elite channel supporter or member, what is that? That's where you receive the trade breakdowns. I posted a breakdown of the trade that I took yesterday going short over on the Nasdaq. I posted that and made a video of it this morning to the elite members. Those are elite channel members. They receive the private community content or video content that surrounds the trades that I take and post over on the Discord. That's where I break the trades down so that you understand in reference to structure, profit targets, stop loss areas. Just kind of letting you know, what I was looking for, why I took the trade, entered the position, so that you can understand from my mindset what I was looking at from my perspective. So again, you receive all the trade breakdown videos. There's tons of them on the private community, as well as you receive the video playlist and the market structure video that breaks down pretty much, in detail how I look at structure of the market as well. So all that for only $6.99 a month. That's like 24 to 25 cents on the day. That's all it is. So again, I mean, that's very inexpensive to what you would do, or find yourself buying into someone's course or mentorship program or something like that. That could cost you thousands of dollars. Here's something that, because I'm here to help people. So I want to share the way that I personally trade in hopes that it inspires and helps people along the way. So, that's just all this video content I'm making. This is just a very minimal a fee that you would pay just to gain exposure to all the additional content. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying if you choose to. But that's it. The link is down in the description portion of the video if you want to become an elite member. Click on it. Make sure to choose the second tier for $6.99 a month, and that's going to give you access to it. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and sub. Make sure to turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell as soon as you click the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you found value in today's video, this is another live traded recording video. Make sure to click that thumbs up button for me. Yes, for all those that always say that, you don't see me taking posting any losing trades here, I captured one today in the actual video that I took. Again, it was a mistake on error on my part, putting my stop loss way too close, but I was able to re-enter and capture the move from what I was originally trying to do. Okay, take care. Have a fabulous weekend. I'll see everyone next week.